Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Today I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin, and this is a weather report. I'd like to talk about the weather health stresses for January 16th, 2026. We keep additional graphics at tpatw.com. We also maintain a storefront on Amazon. Looking at the surface map for the 16th, we have that meandering snake-like front running all the way from near Boulder up to Bismarck, back to Springfield, Illinois, across southern Ohio, all the way to Annapolis. Lots of unsettled weather up and down the west with the monsoonal moisture. As always, southerly flow into Texas, a little bit of shower activity across Florida, and then a little more activity in the middle Mississippi Valley, Illinois, up into Wisconsin with that lingering front. Looking at our vitality index, which is a measure of the individual elements, you can see the spotty activity across the west, but the most significant area of impact appears to be the south and up into the Ohio Valley, actually across even over to Pennsylvania in the mid-Atlantic. Pressure change is rather minimal, with a little bit of falling pressure across eastern North Dakota. Otherwise, pressure is rather stable at this time of the year. Temperature change, and note I'm talking about significant overnight day-to-day temperature change, not dramatic. We're just cooking the frog, getting hotter, hotter and hotter. Although you can see that the areas of increased heat is up here in the Intermountain West and all the way up into Montana. Little bit of cooling only here in extreme western Oregon and Washington State, and a touch of cooling with the showers down here in southern Texas. Looking at vapor pressure, and this is a little bit more interesting than the temperature chart, although everyone will be talking and only talking about the temperature. This is the change in dew point temperatures, and we have a little bit of falling dew point temperature here in Oregon and Washington, but note that we're still increasing dew point temperatures up the Intermountain West. As you look at vapor pressure, a little bit more interesting. Again, you can see vapor pressure increasing here in New Mexico on up even into the southern plains. And we have falling vapor pressure up here in New England and from Pennsylvania on up. Little bit of increase in vapor pressure here in Florida, but again, that's just pretty typical. Looking at instability, it's actually less than it's been for the past few days. We still have lots of instability here along the Gulf, and we're increasing some here in the Ohio Middle Mississippi Valley. Maybe with a little bit of luck, even some showers across that frontal zone across Pennsylvania into Maryland. The change in atmospheric oxygen is hit and miss. We have some migraine stresses here in Washington and Oregon, especially the western half of those states. We do have some migraine stresses along coastal California. Note an area of migraine stress here in extreme corner of Arizona, New Mexico, especially the southeastern of Arizona, the southwestern of New Mexico. We do have spotty migraine stresses along the Oklahoma-Texas border. A more significant area of migraine stresses running from southern Michigan across northern Ohio into Pennsylvania, and then a real area of migraine stresses from upstate New York across Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Looking at the asthma and arthritis stresses, we do have a little bit of that across eastern Nevada and the area of, call it western Idaho. We do have some migraine stresses across eastern Texas through Louisiana, a little bit of asthma and arthritis stress across central Florida, but I'm a little leery of that being a singular point. And then, of course, we have some asthma and arthritis stresses here in eastern North Carolina. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.